Well, I'd like to welcome into the studio our friend Stacy Ghost from Velvet and Suede Travel. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming in today. You and I are just looking at a map of Paris and all of France and Belgium. I was just telling you, I am always been a geek on history, and so read everything about World War II. We've seen the movies, but I've been studying a little more World War I because I read all of Winston Churchill's works, and he kind of did a history of the world, but he was very involved. Everybody thinks Churchill World War II being the prime minister, but they forget in World War I,
that's where
several
he started.
different times he was in the Admiralty there, and so he wrote a bunch of volumes about World War I. And I just finished reading the Western Front, which is the story of World War I, really Belgium and France and all that. I'm now into the Eastern Front, which is the war during the same time in Russia. But I'm just so fascinated by all of the areas in France. And I wish, Stacy, when I went on our student Europe trip, back when I was 16, let's see, I'm going to be 61 now. So yeah, I can't do the math, but it was a long time ago, over 40 years. But I wish that I would have been immersed in the history.
It's so prevalent. Everything there is touched by it, of course, because the battles were right there. The people were affected, and they live with that legacy. Yeah. And there's so much there to learn. It's the best history lesson you could ever take.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about, is a trip to France, and in particular Paris. So many sights to see. I think we were there, unfortunately, for just a day and a half, and I think I told you the story. The day we were going to the Louvre, I had lost my passport.
Yes.
So I was at the embassy getting a new passport, so I missed seeing all of that.
One day is not enough to do the Louvre either.
Right.
Because it is so vast. We chose one wing and did all floors of that wing, and it was exhausting. Very interesting, but it's exhausting.
And I hear that the Mona Lisa is actually quite small. People picture this giant painting, but it's not really big, is it?
No, it's really small. I had some people go just recently, and they were able to get in when there weren't just a throng of people, and they got a really good picture of the whole room. It's very small, probably about the size of that monitor right there. It's just not big at all. And people just line up to get in there to see it. And it's certainly not the most impressive painting in the place.
Right.
So,
it's so wild that of all his works, the Mona Lisa is the one that
everyone
all the people love. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but I like a lot of the other Michelangelo work. So
see, I like finger painting. That's what I like. No, well, Stacy, let's talk about. So you had some friends that you just booked for a trip to Paris. What does that look like? Is it super expensive, or is there something you can put together that's affordable for everybody?
Well, Paris is one of those places that you can get some really reasonable airline tickets too.
Great.
And they do have specials off and on. It's just one of an international destination. So it's one of those places that you can watch and find some good deals on. And it's accessible. There's so much to do. You can spend a little, relative, or you can spend a lot. And the hotels, what's interesting is in Paris and most European countries, you can get a pretty nice hotel for, $200 a night or less. I have had people stay in different hotels that are less than what it than the cost of a very basic, mediocre one in Oklahoma City.
Really?
So yes, and that I find that really interesting. Of course, the prices go way up, but
Sure.
you can do it economically. Paris is a very walkable city. They have public transportation. They have a great bus system. They also have a metro, and they have updated it. It was quite the ticketing and that kind of thing. It's kind of crazy, but you can get all over Paris. And from Paris, you can get anywhere else. So, yes, you could go up to Normandy for a day trip. You can go to Versailles for a day trip, all the gardens, all the different things that there are there to see. And you can just also go to a garden or a park or sit along the street and watch people. And that's fascinating. The greens that they have around the plazas and the different things, it's really just fascinating. But I have 5 different groups this year, recently, and in the future, going to Paris because I have a family that was going to a heritage trip to Sweden.
Nice.
And they wanted to, well, we're going, so where should we go? And, we want to get somewhere that we can see a lot in a little time. And so I sent them to Paris, and I have them staying in a hotel right across from Notre Dame.
Nice.
And it's, you can see a lot. And even the things that have not been publicized and, you see all the pictures and all the things that are fascinating pieces of history everywhere. And it's very cool to learn about that. You had said that when you were there, you thought the people were rude. Not so when I went.
Great.
I've not had any bad experience there. The only time was in the metro where we had a ticketing issue that, we didn't understand exactly what was going on. There's no way to tell when those tickets expired, and they want you to carry I don't know. It was not a good experience, but it was fine. And the motto when we travel, no matter what happens, good or bad, obstacles or ease, we just say it's all part of the adventure.
Yeah.
And we need to enjoy the journey. And we learn so much every single time. But it's a place that people, especially girls, I think, dream of going.
It's a city of love.
Yeah.
Voulez-vous?
The city of light, yes.
Yeah.
And so there's so many neat things to see, but it's filled with opportunities to broaden your perspective, broaden your thoughts on the world, to see things differently, and to learn things that you can't get out of a book.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity. But the world is filled with those kind of opportunities, no matter where you look.
And you've got to travel, folks. You've got to see the world, because even though, as we've talked before, there's millions of places to see here, but boy, just seeing how the Europeans live, it's different. Sometimes they don't understand us. Sometimes we don't understand them. But you get over there. Is there a better time of year to go to Paris? Fall, summer? I mean, because climate's a little bit. Of course, they've had a heat wave recently,
they've had
which
a
is
terrible heat
which
wave.
is rare for them. But
Well, it seems like they've had one, even a short one in the last several summers. London too.
Yeah.
And they don't have air
they
conditioning.
don't. It's air con.
Air
Remember,
con.
they say
They
air
don't
con.
have air con.
Yeah, my brother and sister-in-law were telling us that. Wow, we're so used to having air conditioning, and they went through a couple of weeks of really hot
Awful.
weather in Liverpool. Yeah,
Awful. There's no air. There's no air movement.
Yeah.
So but there's always a way to combat that. I travel with a little fan because I like to have lots of air movement.
Yeah.
But that is something to consider. Now, the major season, the high season is always in the summertime, generally June through August. August is when most Europeans get their holiday. And for me, my favorite time to travel is March, April. It's a little cool then, but I like it cool.
Yeah.
May is good as well. And then the other shoulder season is in the fall, and it's beautiful. But there are great places to go even in the winter. Switzerland in December is gorgeous.
Seeing the Matterhorn and all that with the fresh snow.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful things. The Christmas markets, all those kind of things. Any time is a decent time. Better times than others. It's a matter of personal preference.
What's winter like in Paris? Because obviously you get up in the Alps and things like that. Snow? Does it snow? I mean, this is a funny question. Does
Only
it snow
occasionally.
in Paris or mainly just cool?
They can have snow, but it's not. It's not common.
Yeah.
Even in London, it's not common to have a lot of snow. You think of it being cold and miserable, but it's really temperate.
Yeah.
Of course you have your extremes variables.
Sure.
So anyway, but you hear about Paris in, April in Paris. That I think was a song, maybe. It might be a perfume. I don't know. But that is a wonderful time to go. It's not too hot. It might be a little rainy, but there seems to be a difference if you're in the rain and the mist in Paris or London or Scotland versus the rain and mist in Western Oklahoma.
Yeah, you expect
We're
it there,
thankful for
and
it.
that's just the way.
Yeah.
That's the way it is over there. Well, I'm not only a history buff; I'm a book nerd. So if you're like me and you've read the Dan Brown books, Da Vinci Code and all of those other ones, there are several that weave stories through Paris, and seeing some of those, because I learned about a bunch of different places that I'd never heard about just those books, and now I want to see them.
Sure, and you should keep a list.
Yeah.
You should keep a list because it's amazing how when you're planning, you know of all these places, but then it's like you get there and you're like, oh wow, what was it? So it's really good to have a great plan, because you kind of get there and you're in a whirlwind because you have to acclimate first. You have to figure out, where you are, get the lay of the land, and then you've got to execute, or you just sit there in awe of all the architecture and all the interesting things that there are to see.
That's why you need a travel agent.
That is right.
And that's what Stacy is here for. Stacy Ghost at Velvet and Suede Travel. Quick break. Back with more. Our trip to Paris. We're planning it right now.
A message from your local heat and air experts. Now's the time to get your unit's seasonal checks. Catch the small problems before they become big, expensive ones. Call Southwest Air and Heat, your local Lennox dealer in Weatherford. Southwest Air and Heat and Lennox are the trusted and experienced names for air conditioning in Western Oklahoma. No matter the make or model, Southwest Air and Heat can service it. Call 772-8000. That's 772-8000. Perfect air, unmatched care. That's Southwest Air and Heat, your local Lennox dealer in Weatherford.
When you're making decisions as important as choosing home health or hospice for a loved one, it's important to ask the right questions. Are they locally owned? Are they proven through years of successful business practices? If necessary, can you transition from home health to hospice with the same care given? You can find all this and more at your locally owned Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. They've been serving Clinton and the surrounding area since 2006 with dependable, local, and reliable care. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice of Clinton. Call today.
Gene Cobb Auction and Realty will be conducting an auction this Thursday, July 9th at 10 a.m. Location of the sale will be the Dewey County Courthouse in Tologa, but the property being auctioned is 1 mile south of Putnam on Highway 183, then go east a half a mile on County Road E0810. The property being auctioned includes 80 acres of real estate that would be ideal for a home site or a great addition to any farm operation. For more information, call 580-225-6743 or visit GeneCobbAuction.com.
New processes are here for Oklahoma's local elections. Candidates and office holders need to file campaign finance reports with the Ethics Commission. This applies if you raise or spend more than $1,000 on your campaign or if you're elected. Filing online is easy at ethicsok.com, and it builds transparency in our elections. The Ethics Commission is here to guide you every step of the way. Start today at ethicsok.com.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Everyone's fighting for attention these days, scrolling, skipping, and clicking. But there's one place your customer still chooses to listen: radio. Radio reaches people while they're driving, working, shopping, and living their everyday lives. In fact, radio reaches more than 90% of adults every week, making it one of the most trusted and far-reaching advertising platforms available. Your message isn't lost in an endless feed or skipped after 5 seconds. It's heard by local people who live, work, and spend money right here in our community. When you combine great creative, consistent scheduling, and the power of local personalities, radio builds awareness, trust, and results that last. Hello, this is Abby Wright. If you're ready to grow your business, let Wright Media build a campaign that fits your budget and delivers your message to thousands of potential customers every week. Call us today and discover why local businesses continue to trust the power of radio.
Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro, the best in friendly small-town customer service, hosting everything from fresh hand-cut steaks, fresh ground beef made in-house, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, grown and made in Oklahoma nuts, candies, salsas, pickles, and more. And don't forget to check out the Variety side, full of unique made-in-Oklahoma gift items. And now, treat yourself to the brand-new ice cream and coffee parlor, your new go-to spot for a sweet scoop or a fresh brew. Shop Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro.
Welcome back to the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show, brought to you by Priority Home Medical Equipment. Our guest this morning is Stacy Goes from Velvet and Suede Travel. We're talking about a trip to Paris, France, and once again, just one of those places that everybody needs to see. And you touched on it briefly earlier. If you're going to go there, you have got to make the day trip to Normandy, right? Anthony Moore was just telling us he went a couple of years ago, and it's just life-changing.
It is, because you see the vastness of it, and then the burial grounds.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Also, not too far the other direction in Luxembourg is an American
cemetery.
Okay. And where... Oh, darn it. Patton.
Oh, or Patton was killed?
And where he's buried. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so it is really, it's just moving. Everything, it's sobering, and it's moving, and it's an emotional thing. And you realize how far away from home you are. Yeah. And then you think about these young men, that gave everything. And, it's enlightening and sobering, and you get a whole different perspective. It's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain. And in Gatineau, it was Dunkirk. Yeah. We went to Dunkirk. It was fascinating. And a cemetery there, a French military cemetery there. It's just, I don't know, it just changes your awareness.
Well, one of the things that is always mind-blowing to me, we just celebrated 250 years of the United States.
Right.
But you go to France, you go to England, You're talking about thousands of years of history. I mean, and always World War II and World War I get the highlights, but you can go back to Napoleon. You could go back to the medieval knights.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and there's all kinds of castles still in France, too, which
sure.
you can
Sure.
check out as
You
well.
know, just driving down the highway in France, it looks pretty much like Oklahoma
Yeah.
or Kansas. I mean, a lot of it's really flat,
Yeah.
especially in heading toward Germany. But then there'll be some medieval tower or something in the middle of the field. It's just amazing. Everything here, you know, 250 years. If you go back east, you have a lot of history from, you know, early on. Here in Oklahoma, you know, we don't have things that are very old at all, really. And interesting to me also is that some of those countries, you know, in Italy is in a country that's been the area, of course, the history is forever back, but the country itself, France, you know, it was individual kingdoms for a long, long time. And so, but you don't really, I don't know. It all comes together when you do a tour, and that's not something that you get in your normal history books. Or, you know, a lot of guys like to read nonfiction, and you know, some of those pieces come together. But until you're there and you see, I don't know, I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
And so that's where it really comes together. So, I do have a group trip to Paris coming up in April. If anyone at all is interested, they can get a hold of me and I can direct them to, a website where they could read all about it. And, it's something that, you know, we talked about the different modes of travel. When you have something already planned out that includes so many things, that still gives you opportunities for individual free time to go discover the things you want to, then that's really the best of both worlds. My husband and I still like to drive it ourselves.
Yeah.
But we have driven in Paris, not me. I was navigating. It was crazy. Those are things that, you know, you don't want to have to do if you don't have to, but driving yourself is always an option, but you need to discuss that with someone who's been there and knows, you know.
Do they drive on the right side of the road or left like the English?
No, they drive on the right side of the road.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
French got something right.
Well, and it's chaotic, and you don't want to drive if you don't have to.
Everybody honks. Everybody
honking
tries
all
to
the
go
time.
too fast. That's all of Europe.
And
I don't-
motorcycles.
yeah.
Motorcycles in between the lanes.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, and they just zip up through. Even if, you know, you're stalled on the highway, those motorcycles are going right up through, and it's you know, it's nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But-
if people want to join this trip in April, how long is the trip? How many days?
It is 8 days, I think, plus travel days on either end. And so there's lots of things included, lots of side trips and optional side trips. Normandy is one. Versailles is included. It's one of them that is already planned. Lots of different opportunities.
Now, is there a flat price per person? I mean, is that something you even discuss, or is it all customized to each person?
it's a set price.
Okay.
And so
Can we tell people that? I mean, people might be interested just to know, you know,
Okay.
because it's going to be cheaper doing it through you than trying to book something
right,
on
I
their
believe
own.
the double occupancy is somewhere around $4,600
That's not
per
bad
person.
that's not bad.
and that includes air
Yeah.
and
So,
hotels and meals. I mean,
for 8 days, that's really reasonable.
and
I think.
yeah,
I like that.
should have brought that. But
No, that's cool. I'm just kind
but
of curious.
No,
of yeah.
it really is. It really is reasonable. Oh, and of course, you can upgrade air. You can do all those different things.
Yeah.
But No, it's a pretty good deal, and it's with a quality high-end company. Yes, and it's a one stay, so you are at the same hotel, and you don't have to pack and unpack. It's not
That's
touring a
nice.
country.
Yes.
It's a city stay. It's a Spotlight on Paris is what it's called. And so then you go to the hotel, and you have transportation to all the different things that we're going to. And you unpack once. You have one flight in, one flight out, and it's not country hopping. It's not going like a trip around Ireland or Scotland like I talked about before.
Well, sign me up. I'll have Heston write you a check before you get out of here. But seriously, if you're interested in that or any other travel plans, Stacy, how's the best way to get a hold of you?
You know, the easiest way to get a hold of me is just to Google Velvet and Suede Travel, and it'll pop right up.
All right. Stacy, thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Stacy Ghost talking about Paris. It's getting me in the mood. I want to see Roland Garros, too, and watch the French Open. That's when I'm going to book my trip. All right, stick around. We got news coming up right after this.
Tired of the same old house hunt? It's time for a momentum shift with Momentum Homes in Weatherford. Built tough with Oklahoma pride, Momentum Homes offers quality, comfort, and down-home style. Perfect for families, first-timers, or anyone ready to upgrade. From foundation to finish, they're building homes that last. Just honest work, great design, and a place you'll be proud to call home. Visit MomentumHomes.com to start your shift today. Momentum Homes. Let's get moving.
Over 20,000 square feet of furniture and appliances at Todfest. David.
Harold, we are the one-stop shop. Literally, we have mattresses, furniture, and appliances. We've been here 80 years. And the reason we're here is because we service people after the sale.
A big tradition going on at Todfest for 80 years, folks. Shop at Todfest for all your furniture and appliances. Todfest, the best in quality, service, and price. Main corner, downtown Weatherford.
All right, 7:35. We got John Matthews joining us now in the News Center. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Your wife's going to be super excited about the trip to Paris. That's going to be great.
Well, no, I'm only buying it for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you get one.
Yeah, we're going to have an anniversary down at Little Caesars Pizza.
That makes sense.
But no, I'm going to Paris because I'm reliving. I want to see all the places I didn't get to see when I was there when I was 16. We had a teacher take 5 of us on a student trip over there. It was like 20 countries in 15 days. I lost my passport, so I missed out on seeing the Mona Lisa. And we had to smuggle another one of our students who lost his passport later across the English Channel. That was before the Channel.
Whoa.
You know. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's better
Good times.
because your last solo trip was to Thailand. So this is
with Al Leschbach.
way better. Yeah.